this is the first timer session for everybody who is here to DevDays for the first time. I imagine there's going to be more people filtering in, so welcome to the 5th edition of FHIR Debdays, where you can learn about FHIR, you can share what you've done with FHIR already, and you can connect with many other people, including the core FHIR community here at DevDays. I am Vadim Peretokin. I am a member of a FHIR lead team and a FHIR consultant, and me in the yellow shirt, just like all other yellow shirts, for the next 3 days are all available to help you. So if you guys have any questions about anything, even stupid questions are welcome, just come and ask the yellow shirts and we'll help you out. So, FHIR Debdays, where can we start? I will go over the schedule with you briefly. I'll go over the hands-on sessions that are available and the breakout sessions. And if it's all a bit overwhelming, there are places you can sit down in the atrium and all around the conference room. We will have yoga sessions on Wednesday and Thursday. The page 10 of the booklet describes really nice stuff where you can cool down. We will have chair yoga, we will have mindfulness sessions, we will have chair massage, and we're going to have a pool competition. So page 10, very important. FHIR is very important too, but... And the schedule. The schedule on the website in the laptop version, the mobile version looks a little bit different. The schedule on the website looks like this. You can filter the tracks with that showing all button on the top right. The tracks are organized by a particular type. We have a server track for people who are interested in servers. We have a Smart FHIR track for people who are interested in making Smart FHIR apps. We have a Dutch track for the Dutch specific users of FHIR, and etc. So if you're interested in a particular theme, have a look at that button and you will get the sessions in the schedule filtered by a particular theme for you. Ooh, technical difficulties. Hey, we're back in action. All right, sorry about that. It happens. So, the tracks are designed to inspire you. Like I mentioned, they are organized by particular themes. And if you are a little bit overwhelmed by the amount of presentations and you don't feel that you can attend all of them, all of the tracks are recorded, including this one, including the mess up that just happened too. And so you can always go back and rewatch the videos later on. So some of the tracks that we have are beginner-oriented, server-oriented, FHIR roadmap-oriented for what's coming in the future. There is going to be FHIR and the cloud presentations, as you might have seen from some sponsors. The cloud is very well involved in FHIR. There's going to be things around research and big data and analytics, and other sessions as well. So the beginner sessions, starting today, is the introduction to FHIR at 9 o'clock, right after the opening keynote by Rick Smithies. That's a very good session to attend to. It'll give you the basics overall picture for FHIR. Then A next good session to attend to would be building a FHIR client with either Happy, so the Java stack, or .NET. And that'll be done by James Agnew and Vadim today at 15, and it'll be followed by the hands-on tutorial, build your first FHIR client. And hands-on is down in the atrium over there. So where you see the tables with colored signs, that's where the hands-on sessions are. So if you wanna put what you've learned at the presentation into practice, you can go over to the table, Vadim and James will be there, and you can sit down and start coding your own FHIR client. And after that, after lunch, Michelle will be doing FHIR profiling. And Michelle is the author behind Forge, the FHIR profiling tool. So it's definitely a session you want to enter. He knows everything about profiling. He's built the tool for it. FHIR roadmap, that's another track that we have. This is looking into FHIR's future. So we'll have Graham present today at 9, about FHIR R4 and what's coming after. We will have Rick Smithies follow him about new FHIR resources for the pharmaceuticals industry. And then Martijn Hawthorne will be talking about packages and versioning. Packages are a new concept in FHIR, and Martijn has built his own FHIR package client, both a command line tool, and he also built it into simplifier.net. So he is very well versed to talk about packages. In the server-oriented track, we will have Christian talking today about extending the Wong FHIR server, which is our FHIR server designed in an extensible way, which you can plug custom components into. So Christian will be talking and giving a practical demonstration of how to do that. And similarly, James will also be doing the same with Happy. Happy is also a very modular server, which you can extend, mix databases, etc. So James will be going over that for the Java stack. And he'll be doing that on Thursday. And also Richard will be talking about on Thursday about FHIR testing and system certification. And Richard is the guy behind the Touchstone testing tool, which you can test both your FHIR clients and FHIR servers at for conformance to the FHIR specification. And it is a really good, well-made tool. In the FHIR in the Cloud track, we will have Google talking today in 2 rooms about their Google Cloud FHIR API and FHIR and the protobuf. If you're interested in putting your FHIR data into Google for, let's say, machine learning, analytics, etc., they'll be talking about the ways you can get your data into their cloud. We will have Microsoft talking about FHIR in Microsoft Azure. And Microsoft, just a couple of days before DevDays, announced their own FHIR server that you can run in Azure and elsewhere. It's an open source project. So I think this is what they'll be covering there, how to get your FHIR data into Microsoft's cloud. And similarly, we'll also have Amazon to complete the trio, deploying FHIR data in AWS. And this is all today, except the protobuf session, which will be on Friday. After that, in the research and the big data track, we have medical research, clinical research, and machine learning tracks. We will have Sander from FHIRly talking about R on FHIR. He built the R on FHIR client, so he'll be going over how to use that and how to get your FHIR data into R compatible format, where you can work with it. We'll have Jason talking about Cynthia. Jason is the author of the Cynthia tool, and Cynthia is a tool to generate synthetic but realistic sets of patient data. It's a really great tool. If you need FHIR data for testing purposes, you can run the tool. It'll generate you 100,000 patients. They'll all have realistic. They'll have many observations, encounters, organizations tied to them, and you can load it in and play around with it. So they'll be straight from the author himself. And then we'll have Josh Mandel talking about the FHIR bulk data API. if you need to transfer a lot of FHIR resources, doing it over REST isn't very efficient. So FHIR is, for R4, is coming up with a bulk data API where you can load gigabytes of FHIR data. And Josh will be talking about that. Other interesting topics we'll have is Smart on FHIR by Josh Mandel. Josh is also behind the Smart on FHIR specification. If you're interested in making an app that connects to an EHR, to Cerner, Epic, Allscripts, or many other EHRs, you can create a Smart on FHIR app, and Josh will be talking about just how to do that. We will have Leo talk about FHIRcast. FHIRcast is a new and upcoming technology based on FHIR, which helps clients or systems keep synchronized state of what patient the doctor is viewing at. So if a doctor is interacting with many systems at once, FHIRcast can be used to synchronize the view that the doctor is looking at. If they open one patient, all of our systems will get broadcasted and they'll open at that patient. Apache Camel, John will be talking about that, and as well as Flutter, making Flutter apps that are designed for healthcare. Flutter is a new technology from Google for making native-looking Android and iOS apps, and it's really gaining in popularity. So this is an interesting thing to have a look at if you're interested in mobile development. And also we'll have Ewout talk about FHIRpath, which is another FHIR-specific technology for accessing elements in FHIR. Because FHIR supports both JSON and XML, just using XPath wasn't really good enough anymore. They needed something that would cover JSON as well as RDF and other formats that can be supported. So FHIR came up with FHIRpath, and Ewout will be talking about that. He's also the guy to talk about it because he built the FHIRpath into the .NET client. So hands-on, they will be after sessions, like making your first FHIR client will be right after the session, and it'll be held out in the atrium over there. So where you see tables with colored signs, go to a particular one, and you're very likely to see the speaker there. You can sit down with them, shake hands, and get started. So it will be after or during sessions. There will also be exercises you can do. If you go on the website, on the top yellow bar, you will see the schedule. Sometime later, you will also see the particular exercises. So you can download the PDFs from the website, sit down at the table, and start going through the exercises. You can also bring your own use case. If you're already working on some FHIR clients and FHIR app and you're struggling with a particular problem, you can just sit down with an expert right at the table for machine learning, for anything else, sit down, talk with them, and get it solved. Breakout sessions. We will be having breakout sessions in the 2 rooms over there, our little chalet rooms, as well as 4 rooms in the back to that side. And these are like ad hoc community organized sessions. If somebody has an interesting topic, if you have an interesting topic, you can ask the registration desk to organize a breakout session for you and go there, pick a time, and get something done. Have a look at the signs by each room. This is where you will find information about what breakout sessions are already going to be happening. We will also have the community track, which are presentations from the FHIR community, where people talk about what they're doing with FHIR. So if you're doing something interesting with FHIR, maybe you're based in Austria and doing something interesting with FHIR, then you can go there and present your stuff. So, what you can take home on Friday after all of this, you'll take home knowledge, inspiration for more FHIR things, ideas with more than you've got time for, and tools and many connections. And last step is come to the opening session in about 50 minutes. This is where we will have the usual household announcements. We will have a recap of the previous day. We will also tell you about any changes in the schedule. You can also see changes in the schedule right by the front registration desk. There is a screen that will keep updated with the latest changes. And Ewout always has some very fun surprise for his opening talk. So that's all. Does anybody have any questions? Or is anybody so impressed that they understand everything about DevDays? Yeah, good. All right, awesome. Thanks everyone, and enjoy DevDays.